And something just came up for me as I'm saying this that I think is very, very important when it comes to couples in general to learn about these stages. We must change when someone is feeling sad, angry, shameful, fearful. Other than the other person going to them and be like, what can I do to make you feel better?
Mm-hmm.
I want that to shift to what can I do to make you feel more?
Oof. Yeah.
Because and again, this is just a societal program we've been taught our entire life, right? That when we see someone who is down bad, whether they're physically sick or just emotionally going through it, whatever it is, we want to rush to save them from that emotion, from that experience, because we've labeled that experience being a lot less enjoyable than others, right? But if we just try to jumpstart them out of that emotion, we're robbing them of the full experience of releasing it.
Yeah.
And so every single time you feel like that, I think I do this very well, not 100%, because I'm still sometimes unconscious of it, because I still am driven by old programs of what to say when someone's feeling hurt or feeling sad, whatever it is. But I've had a very concerted effort to make sure that I come to you and say, what can I do to help you feel more of this?
Yeah.
Because that is the intention. Again, these feelings are just running through us. They need to run through us. If we try to stop it halfway, it's going to stay there.
It gets stuck.
It gets stuck, and it's going to get worse
Mm-hmm.
there before. And it's going to have to come out some which way or another. But if we have a few decades of half-felt emotions, that's why people have midlife crises.
Yeah.
That's why people blow up out of nowhere to someone or something.
Mm-hmm. That's why couples fight.
That's what, oh my gosh, that is why couples fight.
You're just talking about that.
Thank you. Exactly. Yep. There are so many half-felt emotions that have all bundled up to the point where the body cannot take it anymore and it must come out.
Yes.
And whoever they need to direct it towards, they will.
Yes. Because we're having a lot of half-finished conversations and a lot of moments that are getting so intense that one or both parties can't hold the energy. And so they just say, hey, you want to watch this new Netflix show? It's like, I'll walk you in. For some reason, this feels very important. I have been around and directly helped multiple couples. And one thing that I notice time and time again that creates the stuck and stored emotions, this also applies to family members. This applies to friends. This applies to any relationship of meaning in your life with people you spend majority of your time around. There is a pattern that I've noticed time and time again where let's say you have two people, one person makes a comment that hurts the feelings of the other person, whether or not they meant to. It could have just been like somewhat of a passive aggressive remark or a dig. And then the other person has a strong embodied reaction to it, but pretends that they didn't. And the other person, because it's very obvious this person just had their feelings hurt, they have a golden moment to ask, is everything okay? But most people don't. What does the person do instead? Distract. They say, hey, can I make you a sandwich? I mean, I swear to God, hey, you want to go for a walk? Hey, you want to watch this new show? It's like both parties are not being direct in what they're experiencing. And so they end up doing something completely unrelated. But what does that do? It creates a buildup in emotion in the system that then gets cut by a distraction. Another way to look at this, let's say that you're feeling like you need to cry, but you're like, oh, fuck, this is so inconvenient. I don't want to cry right now. Pick up the phone and watch Instagram Reels. Now we're not crying anymore because now my mind is focused on something else. It's like distracting a baby, basically, trying to get a baby to stop crying.
And that is why we live in a society that is constantly sedating itself.
Yes.
Constantly distracting itself.
Yes.
It's trying to avoid these emotions. That's why people's worst fear is just to sit in a room alone themselves. It's the one thing they avoid at all costs. Because what comes up when they do that are these emotions.
Yes.
So we've literally created a society so that no one has to actually sit with themselves
Yes.
The problem is the growth, the releasing of those emotions by fully feeling them and expressing them comes from when we allow ourselves to do so.
Yeah.
So, oh my gosh, if people, out of all the things we ever talked about, if they embody this one thing,
Yeah.
and they allow themselves to fully feel and express their emotions when it comes up, this is the key to all that life can offer. All that they know their life can become, attracting the right person, the right career, the right body, the right friend and family dynamic, the right mental and emotional health, whatever it is they've ever wanted that makes up all aspects of life, if they were to do this one thing, they will be on the path to that life. That's what we did before we met.
Yes.
That's what we individually did before we met to get us to the point that we can attract each other.
Absolutely.
If I didn't allow myself to cry before meeting Elle, I would not have met Elle.
Mm-hmm.
And if I would have met her, I would not have been worthy of her at that moment.
Oh.
I would not have been the man necessary to become that. And same
Because
for you.
if you think about it this way, it's like you have all these stuck and stored emotions within you, and they're taking up space. Like they're literally clogging space in your field, your energy field, where when you have these moments with another person in a relationship and they say something that makes you feel upset and you're used to pushing down those emotions, you're not going to have space to have a healthy conversation. Like you're literally not going to have space to hold the energy of the emotions, which is just energy in motion, right? So if you are consistently suppressing emotions, the amount of space we have when somebody brings something external to us and say, hey, you hurt my feelings. Oh, this is going to be like a red Solo cup amount of space to give to that person, which is why people are in a lot of relationships where they feel unseen, unheard, uncared for. And there's a slow drift that happens until the couple breaks up, or they continue having these suppressed fights where one person says something, the other person gets upset, the other person notices, but they don't have the space or the tools to say, hey, it seems like your energy changed quite a bit there. Did I say something that brought something up in you? That's all it would take. But if you don't have the space in your body because you are suppressed, you are not going to say that because you can't hold their response.
Because you can't allow yourself to do that.
Exactly. And that's why it starts that way. That's why it's like, yeah, we all want a healthy relationship, but where's the healthy relationship with our own emotions? Where's the healthy relationship with noticing when we cut our own feelings, whether it's sadness, anger, grief, any of it, where we cut them in half, press them down, and then say, hey, I'll think of this another day, or hey, let me pick up TikTok. We need to fix that behavior lovingly